Hello, everyone. Hope you enjoyed snack time. Next up, we have Better Koha Through Networking with Hans Pålsson, Hannah Dolin, and Kirsten Hirschstrom. And they are all from the Kristianstad University Learning Resource Center. That's in Sweden, if you didn't know. Okay, we'll try to do this passing the mic around, and we might do a little bit of shuffling on the stage here because we have three of us making a presentation. But like everyone else has said, I hope you endure. We're here to talk about the development of Koha in Sweden and the development of the Swedish Koha user group, which we think is a big part of it. Well, my name's said, but we can say it again. I'm Hans Pålsson. My colleagues Kristianstad and Hannah Dolin. That's about the briefest presentation that we will do ourselves. The theme of this conference is Together Towards Tomorrow. And we really believe that the Swedish Koha user group fits right into those three words because it's been really important in the development of Koha in Sweden. Well, let's get started on this.
Okay, so this is what we want to talk about today. The secrets behind the success story of Koha in Sweden. I don't know if you are aware that Koha has been a buzzword among Swedish librarians for a few years now. It hasn't been on the news really, but still, Koha is a great success in Sweden. We would like to share with you what we believe are the secrets behind the success that Koha has had in Sweden, and from our perspective, of course. Maybe you have noticed that there are a lot of Swedish visitors here. And keep in mind that we only have 10 million inhabitants in Sweden, so to see so many of us here is quite amazing. Before we move on to the juicy stuff here about secrets, Kirsten is going to tell you a little more about the three of us are, sorry, I think I'm doing this. Shuffling around with the word. The three of us are librarians, as you might have understood already. We work at a medium-sized university in the very southern part of Sweden, and you can see Sweden on the globe here. The outlines are yellow. The outline is yellow, and we are at the very bottom of Sweden. So, why did we choose Koha? There are quite a lot of answers to that question, and we have had some of them already during these few days. One reason is that we've had the same library system for decades, and that is, of course, no argument, really. But this system, library system, is not developed for academic libraries. All development is aimed at public libraries, and that's an argument for us to change. The yearly cost is high. A lot of you have mentioned that already for your particular systems. And the system is not web-based, it's really rather old-fashioned in a lot of different ways. So we think our hands are tied in our present solution, and we'll look for some alternative software that we could adapt to our specific needs.
So, on to the timeline of Koha in Sweden. The graph says it all. I will tell you a little bit about how it began. This is the first bad movie reference in this speech. It all began with a man called Sarge. Anyone ring a bell about that? Not really. His name was Victor Sarge, and but if you translate it to English, it will be Sarge. Before him, there was also another person who decided to, instead of doing work for his children's school, poking in the garden or what they were doing, instead would like to install a library system for the school's library, and he installed Koha. In some way, Victor and a few of his colleagues found this out and visited them, and really Victor is the man who started the development of Koha in Sweden. This was around 2007, and it was until 2013 that the first library, that public library, went public with Koha. And actually we have the librarian of that library sitting in the audience, Helena, over there. And, we cannot thank her enough. Her and Victor has done an enormous work. After that, things kind of picked up. Victor and, of course, his office got a grant from the National Library of Sweden to promote Koha. So they arranged a conference in Tylösand, Sweden, that we, amongst others, attended. So Kristianstad University got the first taste of Koha over there. That was in 2015. After that, we had, of course, this is just a summary of the history, but after that, the University of Technology in Luleå, up in northern Sweden, started out with Koha as their library system, and then after that, there was Stockholm University Library. And actually, we can point out Andreas as well. He will be talking later this afternoon, so we can ask him more about that. Now we're about in the middle of the graph here. So, kind of like 3 years ago, it was 3 libraries. Less than 3 years ago, there were 3 libraries in Sweden who had Koha as a library system. And today we are 28. If everything goes well, actually on Monday it will be 29, because another colleague in the audience will go live on Monday. That is the Blekinge Technical University in southern Sweden, quite close to us. So that is about Koha, and the network in itself also has a history, of course. The network was founded in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, sorry. Classic mistake. Of course, there was an interest in Koha before the network or the user group was founded, but it has been growing. Today, there are 47 libraries and institutions that are members in this Koha user group. And the interest is always higher and higher. And of course, it's a Swedish Koha user group, but we have also interested parties from Denmark and from Norway. Hopefully, since we have at least one colleague from Finland here today, we might explore interest to the east as well. We'll see. So the development has been very rapid. We hope it continues. Who knows where we are in 2 years' time or 3 years' time? I don't think it will be like Turkey, which we listened to yesterday, because that development is kind of fantastic. But we might double or triple it. We'll see. So far, it's only grown upwards.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about what the Swedish Koha user group is. It was founded in 2016, as Hans said, and so it's a quite young user group, and we could say that we are still investigating in what ways we can collaborate. The user group consists of a network of libraries of different types, and I think we have almost all types of libraries represented there. There are public libraries, academic libraries such as ourselves, school libraries, special libraries, what type? Museums. Yeah. I think that this is really the first time since I started to work with the librarian that I have been in a community where different library types are working together in this way. And I find this very unique, at least in Sweden. So I want to give you an example of this. On Monday, we heard PTFS Europe speak about ILL and the module in Koha. And to make this module work without Swedish conditions, a backend for the Swedish Koha installments had to be made. And it is currently being developed by Library. And we needed a model that would work both for public libraries and for academic libraries. So at first, we had to start at the very beginning and define what an interlibrary loan really is. And that might seem easy, but it wasn't. It became apparent that our routines differed a lot between libraries. But after a lot of discussions, we finally agreed on what functionality it was that we needed. And I think, even though it was a bit frustrating, we learned a lot from it, and the module will be much better if we had tried to work out the specs ourselves. And of course, the user group has to have some kind of steering committee, and that way we have one, of course. And many of the members of the steering committee is here today. The representatives are elected annually in a democratic manner. And the aim is to have representatives from all library types that is present in the user group. And also there are no fees or other formal obligations to become a member in this group. And you just need to have an interest in group.
Now a few words about the National Library of Sweden that has been mentioned already a couple of times. The National Library of Sweden is a collaboration platform for Swedish libraries. It has provided funding of Koha projects throughout Sweden and continues to do so, and that we are very grateful for, of course. At present, there is a user group project aimed at all Koha libraries in Sweden and also libraries interested in Koha. And this current project enables, for example, job shadowing, documentation development. It takes care of travel expenses, etc. The National Library of Sweden also supports with technical development of the National Library Catalog, and facilitates the use of Koha together with the National Library Catalog. And, by the way, the National Library of Sweden is the first national library in the world to use the bib frame format for the entire national catalog.
That's a presentation in itself, but we decided we shouldn't go into that. That's a fact. Okay, next slide. Keys to Koha success. This is the one that's quite difficult to talk about. There are, of course, many of us who have heard about Koha for a long time because it's been around for 18 years, like that, something, you know. And but it hasn't been used in Sweden, as far as we know. Of course, we can be certain because there might be some more library that has installed it, but it's not part of the public library system, which collaborates quite a lot. But the development into Koha in Sweden, what it has become today, and we think it depends rather much that it is the right time for Koha. Like we mentioned before, we have in Sweden a library system that many libraries use that at least the academic libraries think really doesn't suit them, and the development is going in the wrong direction. And you can stand a bit of problem with the library system, but then you always come to a point when you say, no, this is enough. Not being able to influence the development of that system is the direct opposite of Koha. where you have a very large influence on the development of the system, and you can also adapt it to a local library without further ado, which is very positive. And then, of course, those factors amount to, okay, this is it. We have also noticed that Koha now is mature enough to be used by the largest university libraries in Sweden. Then, of course, when we as a kind of small academic Swedish university library can use it as well. The open source part of it is, of course, very important. Like I mentioned, you can adapt the system to the needs that you have. And of course, you can work together, like Hannah talked about, with the ILL module, and also contribute to the base of the system through this work. It's very positive. In Sweden, we also have, since, well, it's hard to put a start date for it, but since quite a few years back, the willingness to share between the libraries has been a new development of networking between libraries, which is not so formal that it used to be before. We've gone from big conferences to more informal networks that communicate through kind of simple ways, or easy ways, you might say. And of course also feels the collaboration. And the collaboration is not just between the libraries of from academic to academic. The collaboration in Sweden nowadays, and especially in the Koha user group, is between all kinds of libraries. There's no, even though we have different funding, I won't go into that, but there is no need to separate the interests of those libraries. We can all talk to each other, and of course, if we use the same library system, though we have different needs, we still have the same kind of problems. That is true. So the collaboration part is very, very important. Each of these are very small keys, like you see in the stock image, not very impressive in a way, but together they form the keys to success for Koha in Sweden, or part of it at least.
Okay, so size doesn't matter. And this is something that we would like to emphasize, that in the Swedish user group, and probably this is something that you all can recognize from your community and our community, is that the size of your library really doesn't matter. In fact, in Sweden at least, the small libraries were the pioneers. So I have put a photo of ants up here to go with the all animal theme of this conference. And that's because some ants can carry up to 50 times their weight. So that's a lot. It's like me carrying an elephant, and I can do that. The ants carry this much weight to build their community. And all ants have an important role to play in this community. So I think that's why ants and Koha people have a lot in common. But we carry other things, of course, not elephants, but perhaps knowledge, an open mind, and also an aim to make something good for our users. And that goes for all of the community, for what we have seen here, not just the Swedish one. And also, the user group provides individuals from libraries of all sizes the possibility to engage in collaboration. And also driven individuals with a passion for Koha have largely contributed to the increase of Koha libraries in Sweden. And we're thankful for that.
Yes, and as we saw on the timeline, the user group has developed rapidly. It's only 2.5 years ago it was formed. So it's a quite impressive development, so to say. The user group arranges meetings and hackfests open to all, not only Koha libraries, of course. The meetings are held twice a year, spring and fall. And the user group also arranges monthly web meetings between where interested parties can take part, so to speak. And during those meetings, you can see that the willingness to collaborate among the different Koha libraries is apparent. There is, as I guess in many of your countries as well, a translation group that is continuously adapting Koha for the Swedish conditions. There is also a need for more Koha documentation in Swedish, and the user group is coordinating this work as well. And not to forget that besides interesting presentations during these meetings that we have, spring and fall, there's also workshops, open spaces, and there's coffee breaks. And there seems to be an endless need to discuss Koha. So a lot is happening between also the scheduled arrangements. A lot of interaction, really.
Thank you. Okay. There's been a lot of beer pictures in these presentations before. I'll get to that one later. There are a lot of benefits of this network, of course. Just mention a few. A lot of them have been pointed out earlier as well. We've written down tools for increased competence. The network provides different ways of collaboration. We have the address koha.slack.com on the Slack channel. No one else had used that one before, so well, we got it. It's kind of nice. I think that one's been around since Rico's time, actually. The Slack channel is a very important tool that we have for day-to-day communication. There is, of course, also a web page, Koha.ac. There will be a web address on the last slide, on which we have a wiki. Like many other wikis, it's not the most used and the most edited wikis, but it's there. And we try to encourage all users to enter information when you have kind of solutions that are specific to Swedish libraries, or just found something on the Koha community webpage or emailing list that you would like to tell the rest of the community. And the second point, better use of resources and support. Well, almost all libraries in Sweden, I think all the libraries in the network are government funded taxes. The cooperation in the network and in the user group, of course, makes better use of these taxes, if you say so, and the people resources as well. Also, Koha is an open source software that you can install and run without having anyone messing with it. I think most of the libraries in Sweden have some kind of support agreement with the company, but it's actually also a way of getting support that's, well, in the more easy way. If you don't have an FAQ to read, you can ask the Slack channel, and we see that most questions are answered quite quickly. This is, the user group is a unique arena. Like we mentioned before, all kinds of libraries are part in the user group, from large university libraries to small public libraries. We think that this is one of the few user groups or networks in Sweden that really tears down the walls between the libraries in a way that we haven't seen before, which is only positive. It's been, for the years that I've been around, only getting better and better, and communication makes us understand the activities that we have in the library is very good. And of course, last but not least, it's fun. We're here, we're from Sweden, we got to go to Portland, very long flight, but it's very nice. I've been to USA before. I don't think that at least one of my colleagues has been before either. We got to drink good beer at the local brewery, $10 company. I wouldn't have done that if we hadn't been here. So yeah, that sums it up. If you can have fun in this kind of work, then it's worth it. I guess that's so. Last slide, actually. Thank you for listening. There is time for questions. The secret behind the Koha success in Sweden, we'd like to say it is the user group. And I hope that the user group who is here agrees, and the rest of the libraries in Sweden as well. And actually, we have another secret as well. We are not yet a Koha library. Yeah, you can ask about that if you like, but we will very soon. Very soon. Thank you. Questions? While he's moving, you have the webpage koha.se/em for English. There's not all the information is there, but it will be.
Other libraries in Sweden, like Stockholm, implementing different modules of Koha and not using Koha.
We have somebody else knows? Yeah. Would you like to answer it?
No, not really.